working as a I'm working in the same iOS application development field from the last 5.7 years, and currently I'm working in some company called Tutorials Technologies, and I completed my MTech in 2010. From that day onwards, I am in the same field. And today we are here to see what are the basic requirements for this application development. Who will be who are eligible to learn this. Eligible in the sense, what if the person have a prerequisite, then only he can learn it very easily. Due to that reason, I am using the word as eligible, so that we will see what are the prerequisites for this application development, what are the tools we require, and once we complete our application development, what we have to do with this. Everything we'll see today. And so today we are here to learn iOS application development. As we already know that iOS is another, actually we are here to learn iPhone application development. That is, iPhone is a device name, but iOS is a OS name. So we are going to develop the application for the OS, not for the device. Like if you want to install some Adobe Reader, then that application is for the that will support only for Windows, and the same software may support for Mac. Means we are going to develop the application for OS, not for only for a particular device. So here we are going to develop the applications for iOS operating system. This is a mobile operating system, and this iOS application development will come under mobile application development. Yeah, this will come under mobile application development, and in this mobile application development there are different OSs are there. Mobile OSs are there. Those are iOS, Android, Windows, BlackBerry, Bada, Tizen. These are all these are mobile operating systems. So these are different categories. So in this our concern is iOS. This is an Apple product. So our concern is we are going to develop the application only for iOS devices. And and in this different categories even in mobile phones, such as a basic model, feature phone, and smartphone. Basic model, we already know this is a basic phone where we don't have many features. Here we can make a call and we can receive the SMS and we can send SMS, that's all. But in a feature phone we have a somewhat more features, like we can play games, we can send email, but all these things, but we can't install our own applications. Whatever the applications available in the feature phone, those only we will use in the feature phone. We can't install our own applications. Our own applications means even third-party applications also we can't install. So those type of phones will come under the feature phone. And next thing is smartphone. This is where we have to our iPhone will come into the picture. So in this smartphone, it's a actually OS-based mobile phone, like our Windows, Mac. These are the operating systems for the desktop. Like that, on smartphone we can means a OS, it's a OS based. So on smartphone there might be some OS will be there. That is that may be iOS, that may be Android, that may be Bada, that may be Tizen, whatever it may be. All these phones are called as smartphones. So our main motto is we are going to develop the application for smartphone, not for a feature phone, not for a basic model. And the first smartphone was released by IBM. It's called as Simon. And at the time, what are the features available in this Simon smartphone is only the calendar, address book, old clock, calculator, notepad, email, and game. At the time, if any phone have these features, that is called as a smartphone. But all these features nowadays we can get for a feature phone nowadays. So because the meaning of a smartphone has keep on changing day by day. So now we can do what means by using this smartphone, we can do all the operations or all the works what we are doing with the laptop. Except we can't install some like a servers and all, but what are the almost all PowerPoint, MS Word, Adobe Reader, games, even net banking, everything we can do using a smartphone. We no need to touch our laptop nowadays. So our company, we are going to develop the Apple smartphone called iPhone. So we are going to develop the application for an Apple smartphone, and the first iPhone was released in the year 2007, January 29. And it was it's a multi-touch capability phone, and it is more faster than the competitors. Even now also the iPhone is the number one. It is a more faster than all Android phones and remaining smartphones. And in these iPhones we have a different models. iPhone original, iPhone 3G, 3GS, 4S, 5, 5S, 5C, 6, 6 Plus, 6S, 6S Plus. These are the different smartphones which are different models in the Apple iPhone. All are of different screen sizes. So in iPhone application development, the main challenge is that now we have to support, if you develop any application, we have to support for a different screen sizes. Previously iPhone means only 3.5 inch, that is up to 4S. From 5 onwards it's a 4-inch screen, and from 6 onwards it's a 4.7, and 6 plus onwards it's a 5.5 inch screen. So now in the challenging thing in our application development is supporting a multiple screen sizes. That is also possible, it's not so difficult, but now that is a challenge for a developer, because all the components we have to align properly based upon the screen size. Components in the sense buttons, labels, text fields, whatever it is, all visible UI components. UI components need to be aligned properly along based on the screen size. And for all these screen sizes, the application should be only one. We shouldn't we shouldn't develop multiple applications for different screen sizes. So app should be one, but we have to support all screen sizes. That's a challenging thing now, but that's not a big issue. We can learn that also in training. And next thing is application. So whatever we discussed is about a mobile phone, and next thing is application. Application, we already know that it is a small software. It's a tool that will help us to do some particular operation. And these applications are of two types: desktop application, mobile application. The applications, whatever we can install on the desktop, those are called a desktop, and whatever we can install on the mobile phone, those are called as mobile apps. So in these mobile applications, again, there are the categories available: native applications, web-only content, hybrid application. Native application means for any application development, we need some components, tools, we need some SDKs. All these things will provide by their companies. For example, Apple will provide an iPhone SDK, Google will provide Android SDK, like that. So here in native applications, mainly we will use the default components, UI components, what the SDK will provide, like button, labels, text fields, web view, image view. These are the different components which we have to use in our application development. And by using the default components what Apple provide, if you develop any application, those are called as native application. And web-only content means it's like a browser type. Means in this you can't see any buttons, you can't see anything. It's like just a web page. If you open the application, you will see some website, like Apple website, www.apple.com. It's by default, it's hard-coded inside the app, and whenever you open the application, you will see only that website. That's it. Those type of applications are called as a web-only content applications. And hybrid means it's a combination. In these applications, you can see the native components, UI components, as well as web content area. Those type of called as hybrid application. There is another meaning for hybrid. That is the thing is nowadays actually few clients are asking, few companies are expecting one app need to be work on both iOS as well as Android operating system. Means only one app they will develop, but it should work in both the operating systems. Those are called as hybrid applications. By using Open Phone Gap, this is a one tool which we have to use for developing this hybrid application. That is also another meaning for this hybrid. But most of the times the companies are more interested about in native applications, because in native applications only we can feel the actual means we can feel the actual Apple means even iOS behavior, even look and feel also we can feel in native applications only. But if you develop any application using hybrid, means in the form of hybrid, means using JavaScript or some other languages, we can find out, we can figure out very easily that it's a hybrid. But in native, we will use Objective-C language, that is a programming language which we will use for our iPhone application development. So we will use the Objective-C language, and the default components we will use in native applications. So most of the times the companies are more interested in native application, and even in our iOS application development training, we will see only native. We will not go through the web-only content or hybrid. Not go through the, in a sense, whenever we require, sometimes we have to use that web content area, but our complete programming language is the Objective-C language. That is what we will use for our application development, and whatever the components the Apple provides or iPhone SDK provides, those components only we will use here. We will not use any JavaScript or Java or something else. We will use Objective-C language. That's a completely native application. And the good example for these native and hybrid applications is, if you open the HDFC application in iOS, in iPhone, that's a hybrid application actually. But if you open the ICICI Bank application, iMobile, that is a native application. You can see the difference there itself. You can find the difference there itself. That is how these are the different types of applications. And there is why most of the companies are more interested on native means, as you people know that Apple every year they will do some changes. It may be in hardware or it may be in software. So that time in future, if you Apple stops accepting the hybrid applications in the App Store, that time again the companies need to be develop the native application from scratch. That will take more effort, and even it is a related to financial things also. So that most of the companies are more interested in native applications, not in hybrid. Hybrid is also interested, but that's a percentage is very limited, very small, and compared to native apps, native applications. So that most of the companies are interested in native applications, not in hybrid. So by using the default SDKs, by using the software development kit, we will develop the native applications. These are the hybrid, okay, and these are the examples, few examples of the for mobile apps. This is a native application. Here by seeing the app itself, we can able to figure out that it's a hybrid. It's not a native app. And okay, that is about the application. What are the types of applications we have, and in that which type of applications we are going to develop. And next thing is, we'll see what are the tools required, what is the programming language we need for this. The tools is Mac Mission, this is a hardware, and Mac OS is an operating system. IDE is integrated development environment. It is the tool which we require for our application development, and Objective-C language is the programming language. And the Objective-C language is actually a superset of C plus OOPS concepts. So whoever know the basics of C and basics of OOPS concepts, those can learn Objective-C easily. It's not a big issue because the syntax might be different, but it's not so difficult to understand the language. And even the tool, that is IDE called as Xcode, that Xcode will provide most of the basic code. Means whenever you create a new project, the basic required amount of code the tool will provide. We no need to write from the scratch. Like in C program, in C editor, whenever you create a new program, automatically it will give that top header file, it will import, and it will give the main function, and it will give the printf by default. In the same way, in Xcode also it will provide some amount of code. On top of that only we have to write our own code. So it's not a big issue to learn. And even while typing the method, means while you are writing the code itself, the Xcode will give you a suggestions. This is the method predictions. It will predict the method name, and it will give those, it will suggest those methods for us. So we no need to type even complete method, no need to remember everything. So that's a even good advantage in IDE, that is providing means these features are take care of by the IDE, but the language syntax is also not so difficult, can able to understand very easily. And Mac Mission, it's actually, Mac is nothing but a Macintosh. It's called as Mac is called as a Macintosh. It's a personal computer, and it was introduced in 1984. And these are the models we have in the Mac Mission. These are MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, Mac Mini, iMac, Mac Pro. Mac Mini is this is a total desktop. This total tiffin size of box is tiffin box size is there, right? That is completely Mac CPU. And this Mac Pro is mainly used for servers. These two are laptops, and iMac, this is again complete system. This is a monitor, backside of the monitor itself, the total hardware, the CPU is inbuilt. So we no need to purchase again extra thing. But all these Mac Minis are expensive. The Mac Mini cost is around 40,000, but for our application development, we need a Mac Machine. But there is an alternative, that is if you have Windows Machine, and you can install the Mac OS on VMware by using the VMware. That is also possible, so that everyone can't purchase these Mac machines because all are so expensive. But because MacBook Pro is around 1 lakh, Mac Mini is around 40,000. So we can't afford, everyone can't afford the same. So due to that reason, alternative is we can use VMware. On top of that, we can install the Mac OS. There are many tutorials available in the internet. We can go through that. We can do that also. And Mac OS. The
Second,
Mac OS is, sorry, yeah, please.
can you ask like audience like whether they are able to follow you or any
Yeah,
question?
yeah, sure. Yeah. Sandeep and Pankaj, do you have any questions in this or any doubts?
Um, no, no any
You were able to
points.
follow, right? You are able to follow,
Yeah,
Naresh?
you.
Yes.
Okay.
So shall I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, Naresh. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Mac OS. So next thing is now up to now we saw about the hardware. 1 minute. Yeah, we saw about the hardware. We'll see about the Mac OS. Now it's a software that is a desktop operating system which we require to install our tools. The tools which we have to use for our application development, all those tools we have to install on the Mac OS. We can't install on the Windows OS. So that is called as Mac OS. Mac OS is a Macintosh operating system. It also introduced in 1984, and this is completely GUI based, graphical user interface based operating system from starting onwards. As you already remember that Windows DOS is a command prompt, but Mac OS is, there is no command prompt in Mac OS. Everything is a GUI based even from 1984. And this operating system as developed by the Apple people, their own operating system this is. And that time in 1984 there is no name for this Mac OS. That time they are call it as a system software. Up to 7.5.6 onwards, up to 7.5.5, they are called this OS as a system software. From 7.5.6 onwards, they are call it as a Mac OS, Macintosh operating system. And from, and there is a few drawbacks in the Mac OS, whatever they Apple people developed, so that they had released the latest version, means they did some changes in this OS, and they had developed a new OS called Mac OS X, that they created new OS on Unix. So now it's a Mac OS X is a Unix based. Now what we are using in our current companies, are even in current any Mac is a Mac OS X, not Mac OS. So from 10.0 onwards, it's called as a Mac OS X, not Mac OS, because it's a now Mac OS X is a Unix based completely. In this we have different versions in Mac OS X. These are the versions 10.0 to now, actually recently they had released 10.12. That's in beta version now. That's in beta stage. Beta stage means it's not yet available to the public. Now it is available to the developer, so the developer can able to test their existing applications on beta, and if he find any bugs, he can report to Apple. So Apple will fix all those bugs, all those issues, and even if if anyone suggests, any developer suggests any new changes, Apple will review all those changes. If they feel okay, this will help to the end user, then they will introduce all those new features and they will release a public version later. Now it's in a beta stage, that is 10.12. But already we have a different versions in the in past we have many things, and currently in market the OS is 10.11. That is what we are using in all companies. And they had given few names: Cheetah, Puma, Jaguar, Panther, Tiger, Leopard, Snow Leopard, Lion, Mountain Lion, Mavericks, Asomite, EA Captain. Up to 10.8, they had used the cat family names. They want to say our voices are more faster than others. Due to that reason, they had used these cat family names. Later, they had changed their mind and they are start using some different names. And I think these are actually the famous things in few countries. It's not about Mavericks. I think it's like a how can I say? This is something. Uh, Yeah, that we'll see. The meaning we'll see later because I forgot the meaning for this. But these are different names they are using now. These are 10.11 is now currently in the market. 10.12 they had released recently. That's in a beta stage. Okay, so we need Mac hardware and Mac OS software. Then we need SDK, software development kit. It is actually a group of libraries called as a, here we call it as a frameworks. A group of libraries gets called it as a framework, and each library, you know, that having the classes, and each class is having the methods. By using those functions or methods, we will do whatever we want. Means the functionality will be achieved by using those functions or methods. So here we call it as a framework. So SDK will provide the frameworks. By using those framework, we will develop our own application. So these for iPhone or iOS, we have an iPhone SDK or iOS SDK. For Android, we have Android SDK. For Windows, Windows SDK. BlackBerry, BlackBerry SDK. These are the software development kits. All these SDKs will provide by the IDE, that is called as Xcode. We no need to download these SDKs separately. If you install the Xcode, automatically the latest SDK will come along with Xcode. Sorry. And next thing is tool. SDK will come along with IDE, as I said. And what is meant by IDE? IDE is an integrated development environment that will provide entire tools, that will provide the complete environment, that will provide the tools whichever we require for our application development. I think most of the audience knows that tools, in the sense, if you want to develop any application, not in here, anywhere, even if you want to write one C program, what are the things we need? We need editor, where we will write our code. We need console, where we will see our output. These two are must and should in anywhere. Here also the same, but all those in C, actually what we are doing is non-UI programming. Most of the times we will use that editor or a C tool for writing the non-UI programming. But here in our iOS application development, we have to develop the applications. Those are UI based, means there might be, you can see the images, you can see the buttons, you can see the labels, all these things. So that we need, along with editor, console, we need few other tools for designing the UI. That is called as interface builder. And we want to see the output, because here it's a UI programming. I have to see the output in a device, not in the console. I can't see the colorful design on the console. I need some other tool to see that output. Actually, we have to check that in a device, but even iDevices or iPhones are also so more expensive, so we can't purchase iPhones. So that the IDE is providing another tool called as simulator. That will is like a resemble of the iPhone, but it's a software tool. It's not a hardware tool. So these are the things. So whenever this is called as Xcode, whenever you install this Xcode, this interface builder will come, instruments will come, iPhone simulator will come. This interface builder, it's a tool which we will use for our UI design. I want to develop one application like a Redbus, or I want to develop one application like called Cricinfo. If I want to do that, I have to play with a UI components. I have to play with images. For that, by using those only, I have to create the UI. So this is the interface builder which help us to design the UI for our applications. And these instruments is for measuring the performance. It's a debugging tool. Sometimes our app may crash. Crash in the sense, unexpectedly the app will close automatically without any user involvement. That time I want to know the reason for that. So that time we can use the instruments. This is an instrument. It's a debugging tool, performance tool, memory leaks, everything we can find using these instruments. These also will come along with Xcode. And this is the simulator. This is where we will see the output here. After you develop any application, we can see the output there itself. We no need to install that into a real device, because even we can't, because now we have to support for different screen sizes. We can't purchase all iPhones for testing purpose. Even companies also will not do that. They will buy only one iPhone, one iPad. That's it. Those two devices they will use for testing purpose. If they want to see any UI alignment related issues, they will just use a simulator. They will not purchase all devices. It's not possible also. But only the main drawback in the simulator is you can see how views will go from one view to another view, how the transition is going on, how the animation is going on, is the animation working or not. Everything we can check in the simulator, but we can't measure the performance of the application, how fast it is, how fast it's responding for the user interaction, user events, touch events. Those things we can't check in the simulator, and we can't make a call, we can't send messages, because these two are hardware features. I need a speaker phone, I need a I have to send a messages, so I have to support a SIM. All those things we can't do using, all those features we can't test using the simulator, but remaining everything, UI transition related things, everything most of the time simulator will do. So we don't need to worry about the device. Even no need to purchase a device in development stage. If only for testing, only we no need to purchase any device, simulator will do for that. And one more thing is here. Okay, so if I learn iOS application development, so can I develop only iPhone applications? No, you can develop the applications for iPad. You can develop the applications for Mac OS, that's a desktop OS, means you can develop the desktop applications, and even you can develop the application for TV OS. You can develop the application for Apple Watch. Recently they had launched the Apple Watch. You can develop application for that also. How can it possible? Because for all these things the tool is same. The Xcode is the tool. By using the Xcode you can develop the applications for IE devices, means like iPhone, iPod, iPad, TV OS, Mac OS, Watch OS. For all these operating systems, for all these type of devices, you can develop applications by using one tool that's called as Xcode. And the language is same for all these application development. The language is only Objective-C language. Only the difference is the screen sizes will be different, and the components what we will use in each application development might be different, because you can see the in website you can see the components and all, but in iPhone application development you can't see those components. There is an alternative for those components. Those are called as a switch and segment control. Those things only we can use. Those are only the main differences, but logic is again it's independent of any language. Even if I want to do addition operation, I will do addition operation. For that I will write a logic in one way, but my colleague may write the logic in a different way. So that depends on our way of thinking. So business logic is always depends on our way of thinking, but the language, syntax, everything is same. How optimize the code means how can you reduce the number of lines in accomplishing any particular operation, that also depends on the developer. So we know it means so that by using, if you learn one application development like iOS application development, it's mainly related to the OS. It's not only related to for a particular device. So that if you are well in iOS application development, you can switch to Mac application development also, even the same vice versa. Recently one of my colleague has joined in TCS. He was a iOS application developer in our company. Now he is working on Mac application, working for Mac application development. So there is a possibility, there is a feasibility so that you can switch from one OS to another OS. If there is a demand for Apple Watch applications, so you can shift from here to there very easily. No need to worry about it. So that is an advantage in iOS application development. So we are going to develop the application. We are going to learn the application development for OS, not for only for a particular device. So we are going to develop iOS, going to learn iOS application development, not only iPhone application development. And even you can develop one application that will work even on iPhone as well as iPad. That's called as a universal application. You don't need to develop the two applications for two devices. That we can support multiple screen sizes also. That is also the major challenge nowadays. So that is how the tools will help us, and the Xcode is so powerful tool, and even it's a developer friendly. We don't need to means usage of this tool is very easy, very friendly. So no need to worry about the tool as well, and language as well. And like I said, the language is Objective-C. It's a programming language. Say syntax is from Smalltalk, and whoever know the basics of C and even OOPS concepts a little idea, they can learn Objective-C very easily. It's not a big issue at all. Okay, these are the tools we required for our application development. Okay, now I am done. I developed my application. What I have to do with that? I have to upload that into the store. Otherwise, I have to give that application to someone for testing, or if I give that application to someone, they can use it. If I develop my application, if I keep that application with me, no use. So what I have to do? I have to upload that application into the App Store. For that, can I upload that application into App Store for free of cost without paying anything? No. We have to pay $99 per year to Apple. Then only we can upload our application into the App Store. But if I have my own iPhone. I want to develop one application for me. Means like it's like a photo album. I want to design one photo album. Whatever the photos I have with all those photos, I want to develop one application. That I don't want to upload that application into App Store because those photos are my personal photos. I don't want to exposed to outside world. That time also you can install your own application into your real device, your iPhone. That time you don't need to take any membership, because recently in Xcode 7, now Xcode 8 is the latest version, that's a beta version, but in Xcode 7 they had introduced a new feature called on-device development. So now previously if you want to install even your own application into your own device, you need a membership. $99 membership is must and should. Now that option they had removed. So if you want to install on your own device, you can install. On your own device in the sense, yeah, on any iPhone you can install for testing purpose. Even you can use that application for a lifetime. There is no expiry or something, because there you are not using any certificates, or you are not using any membership there. So it is possible that you can test your own application on real device without paying a single rupee to the Apple. Okay, so I took $99 membership and the validity is 1 year. Now I developed my own application. So what I will get? If the app is free, you will not get anything. If it's a paid app, then 70% we will get. Company will take 30%. Company means Apple will take 30%. For example, if the app cost is 100 rupees, then we will get 70 rupees and Apple will take 30 rupees. This is how that this what is that price will distribute in between the developer and the Apple. So this is how. Okay, so this is what the tools required, language required, and what are the prerequisites. All these are the things. If you have any doubts, you can ask now. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Pankaj and Sandeep. Hello, Pankaj.
Yes.
You don't have any doubts?
नहीं डाउट्स तो कुछ भी नहीं है. नो डाउट.
Okay. Sandeep? Sandeep, are you able to hear us?
ಹೇಳು.
Hello. Yeah, hello, Sandeep.
Sine best వేయడానికి కానీ
We are hearing some disturbance there. If you like, you can type there, no problem. In chat window, if you have any doubt, you can type there. Like if you don't have, like Naresh will show one app which he developed so that like you will be aware like how it will be posted and how it will be like in just like 2-3 minutes you can share that app, Naresh.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I have my own applications in the App Store. I have 3 applications in the App Store. I will show you what are those. So this is my own application called Mobile Murali. It's, you can see my name here. You can see my name by Naresh, and this was there from last 2014. From 2014, the app was there in the market, and see latest update was released in February 26, 2016. And along with this application, I have two more applications in the App Store. See here you can see more apps by Naresh. Click on this PMTV. So this is another application. This is also latest update, has been released in 2015 May. And one more app is BK Traffic Control. All these are devotional kind of applications. All these are my own applications, not related to company. And totally around 7,000 downloads happened worldwide. Those calculation, those statistics we can see in iTunes Connect. This is called iTunes Connect. I have my own membership. It's individual membership, and these are the applications. Few applications are already there in the App Store, as I showed to you. This big traffic control, mobile only, PMTV today, and these three applications are in pipeline. So I am going to develop these three applications. So and here we'll see how many downloads happened worldwide. See, I can see here sales and trends.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Yeah. Why only Objective-C language and not other languages?
No, the thing is, the main thing is whatever the frameworks the Apple providing, all those frameworks are already developed using Objective-C language. For that, due to that reason, they are recommend us to use the Objective-C language only. But in Xcode, even you can use C, C++ as well. But the default frameworks, what Apple provides, that means frameworks is nothing but a libraries. Like if you want to develop any C program, you will import stdio.h, right? That's a default library. Here also we have some default libraries. All those were developed a very long back, and all those libraries were developed using Objective-C language. If they want to support other languages, means then those frameworks will not help us. Means those are useless. Due to that reason, Apple recommends Objective-C only for this application development.
Do like each and every different OS have a different language for program?
Different OSs in the sense, are you talking about Mac OS, Windows OS, or how is it?
It's like Android, Windows, like that.
Yeah, correct. In Android, actually, you have to use a Java. But for Windows, you have to use a C sharp. For iOS, it's Objective-C.
Object.
So different
We can't
languages.
use one for the other, no?
Sorry?
We can't use one for the another.
No, that time you have to go for a hybrid applications. There you can use a JavaScript, but that's a different actually. It will not come under native applications. Yeah, you can use, but the application we can't call it as a native application. It's a hybrid application. But that the means demand for these hybrid applications are very less in the market. Even most of the companies are looking for native application, not for hybrid applications. Is it clear?
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, it's welcome. Okay, so here you can see the sales and trends. I will show you totally how many downloads happened worldwide. Excuse me. So totally 7.28K means 7,028 downloads happened worldwide. Here you can see The mobile Murali is 5.27K, PMTV is 1.53K, BK traffic control is 489. So these are the number of downloads happened worldwide. Even we can see in each country or in each continent how many downloads were happened. Click on this territory. Here we can see that also. See here you can see in Africa, Middle East and India 4.04K and US and Canada 1.43. In this way we can see our statistics, means how many downloads happened worldwide, and even we can see in which device. Click on this device. See here you can see iPhone 5.92K, iPad 1.10K, because all my applications are universal. It will work on both iPhone as well as iPad. Here desktop means we have an application called iTunes. In iTunes also we can download the applications, and from there also we can install into our iDevices. So totally 174 downloads happened in iTunes, using iTunes. And iPod Touch 83. So it's universal, so it will support iPod Touch also. But even in iPod Touch, what are the features will not work is again phone call and sending SMS. Because here we can insert the SIM, but that is only for accessing the mobile data, not for making calls. Okay, these are my applications. This number of downloads happened worldwide currently, and final thing is we have to see how would the future of these mobile apps. I think we don't need to worry about up to 10 years, because whatever, how many websites are there in the market now, all those websites need to be converted into mobile apps. That is a trend going on nowadays also, you can see, because most of the times we are accessing our smartphones, we are not using our laptops. So obviously there is a chance, and it should happen that in future we can't see a website. All websites will convert into mobile applications, and nowadays using mobile application we can do many operations. Whatever the operations we can do using website, all those things we can do here itself. So we don't need to worry about coming 10 years minimum. And even Apple, every year they will do some changes, so that whatever the existing apps need to be upgraded always. If they want to keep their app alive, they have to upgrade. Otherwise, that will not work in latest versions or latest devices. Means like in coming iPhone 7 may come in September, so they may do some changes in iPhone 7. So that time our existing apps need to be upgraded to support all those iPhone 7 features. And even recently iOS 10 they had launched, that's in beta stage again. That also they will release to public this September. Yes, that's about. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now.
Yeah, Pankaj and Sandeep, if you have any doubts, please let me know now itself. Naresh will clarify. If you don't have any doubts, please say yes or no in the chat window so that we can conclude the demo now. I will call back you tomorrow for feedback or whether you want to go for the course or how is it.
And openings are good. Even you can get even 0 to 1 years also they are expecting. So that even we can check in Naukri.
Yeah, iPhone and Android, no need to worry about the job opportunities. We are seeing there are a number of opportunities in the market. You have anything, Pankaj and Sandeep? You have anything?
That
Yeah.
I don't have any programming experience. After learning iOS app development, then मतलब जो कंपनियां हैं वो अलाउ करेंगी मुझे कि मैं जस्ट कैपेबल हूँ आपके साथ में काम करने के लिए.
Okay. Subhash, I don't know much Hindi. I think he's asking after I join in the company, can I able to manage it? Am I correct?
Like, what is your like study, Pankaj? What you studied?
ग्रेजुएशन बीएससी मैंने किया हुआ है मैथ्स में.
BSc in?
बीएससी इन मैथमेटिक्स.
BSc in mathematics. Okay. Yeah, like you should know the little basics of C language. You have any idea on C?
C
Yeah,
plus मुझे I have knowledge about C and C++.
yeah, then that will be enough. Basic C language is enough. Not even advanced topics like data structures and those are not necessary. Basic C language like how to put the formulas, pointers, those if you know, and before the course, like if you brush up for 1 week, then that will be fine. Then you will become a good learner. And Naresh will support you like from some more time after the class if you need it. Is that fine?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. If anything, like tomorrow I will call you and we can discuss.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sandeep, you have anything in your mind? Sandeep, we could not hear you. If you are unable to speak, you can type in chat window. Maybe Sandeep is having some issue in network, I think. We can wind up the demo now.
Okay.
Like I will check with the people and come back to Naresh tomorrow.
Oh, okay, Subhash.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your training and your good
Yeah,
examples.
it's okay.
And
Yeah,
Pankaj and Sandeep, thank you for your participation. Okay. Good night.
yeah. Good night.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.